Good evening and welcome to VOP News at 6. I'm Kayla Abraham. First, the major headlines. Political analyst says no conscious efforts to block leakages in 2024 budget. Lagos ranked 8th best healthcare African city. Bauchi head teacher jailed 11 years for defiling 6-year-old pupil. And on AFCON 2023, Super Eagles Ghana to share same hotel in Abidjan. Now the news in full. The president of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, Yakubu Mekayu, has blamed the failure of intelligence for the plateau killings. This is as he condemned the December 24 attacks on villages in Plateau State by terrorists which claimed the lives of over 200 residents. The NBA president stated this in his New Year message made available by the association's National Publicity Secretary Akorede Habib Lawal today. Barrister Mekayu said the incidents were inexcusable and unacceptable, while adding that also a recent drone attack by the Nigerian military in Tundubiri, Kaduna State showed there was a gap in the security architecture of the country. It was reported that on Sunday, December 3, 2023, an airstrike intended for terrorists was sent by the military in Tundubiri in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, killing over 100 villagers in the process. Barrister Mekayu said the government should be more responsive to security loopholes in the country and prioritize the safety of the lives and property of citizens at all times. The Arawa Consultative Forum, ACF, has expressed concern about the lack of real progress in improving education in northern Nigeria. The forum spokesperson, Professor Tukara Mohammed Baba, in an interview highlighted the critical gap between government initiatives and tangible improvements on the ground. The ACF spokesperson said although some states had made strides in agriculture, progress in education existed largely in the media. He said a lot of areas in the north had suffered decline in social conditions. The backbone of the economy in the north has remained agriculture. Professor Mohammed Baba added that agriculture becomes very challenging activity due to the activities of bandits, climate change, and so on, which have effect on access to education, access to health, and infrastructure. Now, a professor of communications based University, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, has queried the recently approved 2024 budget by President Bola Tinubu as part of the budget will be funded through borrowing. The political analyst criticized the budget, asking if the country will keep borrowing money that will be lost through corruption. Professor Adeniyi, who said these on a televised interview today, noted that government should be commended for sticking to the January to December cycle that started in the former Senate President Akmal Lawal's administration. He, however, stressed that it is regrettable that there is reoccurrence of budget every year and there is a loud silence on what the overall national development plan is, as the case should be. The professor of mass communication added that he would have imagined that the president would be more definitive on the measures that will be put in place to check leakages. The senior pastor of Daystar Christian Center, Sam Adeyemi, has advanced reasons why the older generations of Nigeria must put their act together and make Nigeria work. He said it is important for the older generations, including the political and religious leaders, to retrace their steps and get the country working because the younger generation will soon begin asking questions. The cleric said these on a televised program today that it will be tougher to lead the younger generation if the needed development is not in place. He also said Nigerians must agree on where the country should go and the destination in achieving the desired change and development. Pastor Adeyemi, who noted that the level of suffering is increasing exponentially, urged the elite class not to sit down until the country runs into crisis. He added that African countries are dealing with a deeply rooted leadership culture that makes the leader very powerful and the follower is practically a slave across almost all sectors. Still to come with more stories after the break. Stay with us.
Thomas Sankara was a remarkable figure in African history. He served as the president of Burkina Faso from 1983 until his tragic assassination in 1987. Sankara's presidency was characterized by his progressive and revolutionary policies, which aimed to transform Burkina Faso into a self-reliant and socially just nation. During his time in power, Sankara implemented a range of reforms to uplift the lives of the Burkina Faso people. He prioritized gender equality, education, healthcare, and agricultural self-sufficiency. Sankara believed that empowering individuals and communities was crucial for the overall development of the nation. One of Sankara's notable initiatives was the Village Resolution. One of Sankara's notable initiatives was the Village Revolution, which aimed to decentralize power and bring the government closer to the people. He strongly advocated for the grassroots democracy and encouraged local communities to actively participate in decision-making processes. Tragically, Sankara's life was cut short when he was assassinated in a coup which was led by his associate. Despite his untimely demise, Sankara's legacy continues to inspire many Africans. Despite his untimely demise, Sankara's legacy continues to inspire many Africa and beyond. His unwavering commitment to social justice, self-reliance, and Pan-Africanism remain an important part of African history.
Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has suspended the Chief Executive Officer of the National Social Investment Program Agency NSIPA, Hajia Halima Shehu, due to alleged financial impropriety. The president immediately announced Akindele Egbuwalo, the National NPAR Program Manager, as the acting replacement for Hajia Shehu until investigations are concluded. Senate confirmed Hajia Shehu's appointment on October 18, 2023. Before her role as NSIPA, she served at the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development from 2017 to 2022, bringing her expertise from the banking sector to her government service. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Brigadier General Y.D. Ahmed, has tasked Corps members on dedication to their work and harmonious and peaceful coexistence with host communities. In a New Year message, the NYSC Director General also promised that he and members of staff of the scheme will demonstrate greater zeal and dedication in discharging their responsibilities this year. He said to achieve a great country, Nigerians must commit to patriotism and rededication to the ideals of nation building. The NYSC Director General added that the lessons of 2023 will be useful in guiding the NYSC to success in the year ahead. Numbeo, a research firm focusing on data that centers around quality of life, has ranked Lagos as the 8th city with the best healthcare system in Africa. In the list, Numbeo uses an elaborate algorithm to arrive at ranked Cape Town in South Africa first, Pretoria second, and Nairobi third. Modern high-tech hospitals are starting to expand in these cities, guaranteeing that the people living there have access to top-notch healthcare. According to an updated health index analysis from Numbeo, African cities are performing well in terms of cost of living, quality of life, and numerous socioeconomic characteristics across cities and nations worldwide. The healthcare index itself is an approximation that assesses the general caliber of the healthcare system, taking into account elements like medical experts, staff, equipment, and expenses. It offers an evaluation of the healthcare resources, services, and infrastructures that are offered in a certain area. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has ordered the arrest of a soldier who violated the ban on Okada in the state. In 2022, Sanwo-Olu had announced a total and indefinite ban on the operations of commercial motorcycles in 6 local government areas of the state. Speaking with all divisional police officers in the state at the Lagos House, Ikeja, Sanwo-Olu urged the officers to ensure total enforcement of the ban. But ever since the ban took effect, there has been violations, especially by military personnel. Today, when the governor's convoy was on Lagos-Badagry Expressway, some motorcyclists were seen riding against traffic. Immediately, the governor alighted from his vehicle alongside some of his aides and ordered their arrest. The presiding judge of Bauchi State High Court, number 11, Justice Nana Fatima Jibrin, has sentenced Jalaluddin Zakari, a head teacher in Buraningi local government area of the state, to 11 years in prison for sexually assaulting one of his pupils. Zakari's victim, a 6-year-old girl, had been at the school for an admission screening but became a victim of assault by Zakari, who detained her for hours after official school closing hours. Zakari was said to have inserted his finger into the girl's private part. The prosecuting counsel and the state counsel with the Bauchi State Ministry of Justice Barisa Dayabu Ayuba disclosed that during the trial, 3 witnesses, including the victim, testified before the court. Similarly, in 2023, a judge in Bauchi sentenced one Yusuf Boko to life imprisonment for raping a girl inside a mosque. Additionally, 2 other men were each sentenced to 35 years for culpable homicide and the barbaric act of removing the private part of a teenage girl in Jamare. Still to come, stories from the international scene plus sport news just after the break. Stay with us.
Lady Kwali. Lady Kwali was born in Gwari region of Nigeria around 1925. She grew up in a village of Kwali, where she learned the traditional art of pottery from her mother. Lady Kwali showed exceptional talent and quickly honored her skills in creating beautiful and intricate pottery pieces. Lady Kwali's talent caught the attention of Michael Cardew, a British potter who was visiting Nigeria in the 1950s. Impressed by her work, Cardew invited her to join the pottery training center he had established in Abuja. Lady Kwali's pottery gained international recognition and she became known for exquisite craftsmanship and unique style, which blended traditional techniques with modern influences. Lady Kwali played a significant role in revitalizing and promoting traditional Nigerian pottery. She incorporated her own artistic flair into the traditional techniques, creating stunning pieces that showcased the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria. Her work not only gained acclaim within Nigeria and also garnered international attention, contributing to the global recognition to Nigerian poetry as a unique and valuable art form. Lady Kwali's legacy extends beyond her own artistic achievements. She became a symbol of female empowerment and a role model to aspiring artists in Nigeria. Her dedication to preserving traditional poetry techniques and promoting Nigerian culture has inspired generations of artists and artisans. Lady Kwali's work continues to be celebrated and cherished, and her influence on Nigerian poetry remains significant to this day.
Welcome back. At least 11 people were killed while 7 others were injured in a fatal auto crash that occurred at Ayere Bode, Saudu Ilorin route in Moro local government area of Kwara State today. According to reports, the crash occurred around 4:50 in the morning due to wrong overtaking and speeding. It was gathered that the Toyota Hiace bus coming from Gombe en route to Lagos wrongfully overtook another vehicle, resulting in a head-on collision with an oncoming DAF truck. The spokesperson of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC Kwara State Sector, Mrs. Olayinka Bansabo, who confirmed the incident, said 18 people, all male adults, were involved and 11 sadly lost their lives, while 7 others were rescued with varying degrees of injury. She added that the injured had been taken to hospital for treatment. According to her, the FRSC sector commander in the state, Stephen Dawulung, sympathized with families of the dead and wished the injured quick recovery, while he cautioned motorists not to disobey traffic rules. Now, And the foreign thing, a member of the parliament from Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's party was at the center of a political storm today after taking a gun to a New Year's Eve party of 30 guests near Turin where someone was shot with it. Emanuele Pozzolo, a lawmaker for Meloni's far-right Brothers of Italy party, has admitted owning the mini revolver reported to be a .22 caliber North American arms revolver, but says he did not fire it. He said it was discharged by accident, causing a light injury to the leg of a guest, the son-in-law of a bodyguard of Junior Justice Minister Andrea De Mastro, who was also in attendance. Pozzolo, 38 years old, disclosed in a statement cited by newsmen that it confirmed that a shot was accidentally fired from a pistol he illegally held, but it was not him that fired. But the story drew astonishment and outrage among opposition politicians. Possession of firearms in Italy is strictly regulated, although Meloni's party last month proposed to reduce to 16 the minimum age at which someone can obtain a permit for a hunting rifle. Now to sports stories. Perennial rivals Nigeria and Ghana will stay at five-star Pullman Hotel Abidjan during the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. The two countries will play their group games in Abidjan. The Super Eagles are drawn in Group A with host Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. The three-time African champions will play their first two games against Equatorial Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium, Ebimpe, Abidjan. Jose Pasero men will do battle with Guinea-Bissau in their final group game at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium, Abidjan. Ghana's Black Stars are drawn in Group B with seven-time champions Egypt, Cape Verde and Mozambique. Chris Houghton's men will play the group games at the Houphouët-Boigny Stadium, Abidjan. Also, Egyptian forward Mohamed Salah says his desire is to win the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations for his country. Salah, who netted a brace in Liverpool's 4-2 win over Newcastle in Monday night Premier League game at Anfield, told sport reporters after the game that Egypt has the quality to win the trophy. Recall that the Pharaohs of Egypt will battle Ghana, Cape Verde and Mozambique in Group B of the tournament. The former African Footballer of the Year said Egyptians believe too much, have top talent, fantastic players and just need to work hard. And to wrap up the VOP News at 6, here are the major headlines. Political analyst says no conscious efforts to block leakages in 2024 budget. Lagos ranked 8th best healthcare African city. Bauchi head teacher jailed 11 years for defiling 6-year-old pupil. And on AFCON 2023, Super Eagles Ghana to share same hotel in Abidjan. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Kayla Abraham. Good evening.